Welcome back, my darties, to the WTF news. Basically of anime and gaming. Just to let you know, I have three versions: anime, gaming, anime for anime, gaming for gaming. And this is one of those rare times where I get, well, it's now become more common, anime and gaming. And this is the show that I talk about what's been going on. And yeah, I'm talking about spice and magic, whatever you want to call that BS thing. But yeah. Spice. I forgot what it was called. So somebody please inform me. It's the show that Crunchyroll recently put out. Yeah. Sheesh. Just to let you know, I got this information from Noble Lost Pause, and I'm so sorry that I didn't put up any videos yesterday. Something came up, and I wasn't able to do it. Hopefully, I can tomorrow, but if not, I'm so sorry. But yeah. Just to let you know, the WF news is about spreading the word, and it's not about me taking credit. It's just about me helping spread the word of what's been going on. And yes, this one needed to be spread because of how bad it is. And Noble goes in rips into it, and I highly advise you to go. But I'm going to be talking about what's been going on within the show, and I'm also going to be taking some highlights from his video, and also talk about how bad they are as well. And yeah. So basically, this show is about magic and everything, but first of all, there's barely any magic at all. I don't think there's barely any magic. And when I mean barely any freaking magic, I mean the only magic I've seen was a broom and a door. Yeah. And also, plus, the side characters make no sense because they look poor, and the only characters is the main character and a friend that actually have some stuff. And yeah, there is nothing to involve those characters. Also, the music is loud. I mean, really loud. I mean, you hear my voice, right? And I've seen my videos, and that's loud. But I guess that music in that is really loud. You can't even hear some characters. Not to mention the animation makes no sense. Choppy beyond belief. And just think, this is from when I just recently saw the video today of Noble, and I'm trying to tell you that so much of that show literally makes no freaking sense at all. And yeah, it's choppy. There's some basic warping in the show, basically from the editing and stuff. I'm gonna assume orcs probably are in the forced labor, possibly, and plus there's static images that makes no sense, especially when you're moving. I mean, it makes no freaking sense. I mean, not to mention, the point is that there are certain things in the show I can defend because I've seen them in other shows. And also, I say show because anime, I don't think is the right word for this. But even still, yeah, this show literally, it makes no sense. And like I said, in certain points, I can defend the fact that there are certain points in this show. But even still, I don't want to, but I will anyway. For example, the broom thing. Rich Noble goes after that because why didn't they use the broom? Well, for one thing is that I've seen other shows basically do this kind of thing where they sneak on the train with either magic, invisibility, or something. But the fact of the matter is that they switched over different. But considering how there's been no magic, of course I will be focused on this. But even more idiotic is that the fact they had to switch over 4 different versions of things. Basically, they went from a coach to a high-end coach to a freaking that for some reason they don't have any seats on them that they can use, so they get thrown to the top of the coach. Then after that, they go on a stair elevator that goes up, and then after that, they go on a train, which that's like 4 things in the first episode. What? Why? Why couldn't they take the coach or the broom or something towards the place they were going? I mean, if you think about it, I see the side characters, and they're actually family members, and some of them, if they're poor, why are they wasting money to just travel when they could just take one thing or even use the broom? They even, and plus I could say that they both use the broom. I could literally say, oh, it's because their magic is not gonna last, and we don't even know how far the city is. So I guess I could say that maybe it's because if it's too far away, who knows? But even still, what is happening? Oh, so just to let you know before I continue, I did not watch the show, but there are so many videos out there saying how the show is so bad, and Noble's the one I watched, and he said, and this show, and he goes into it, he rips into it, and it's bad. And just to let you know, there is some lesbian stuff in here, Yuri stuff and all that, which I don't have a problem with, but it's kind of sometimes make it apparent in here, which, okay. But also there's incest, so I will get into that later. But even still, okay, look, I have no problem if you want to focus on some things, but when you make it the focal point of the show, that I have a problem here. But either way, it makes absolutely no sense that they travel all the way here, paid for so much stuff. Now I can understand someone's have to switch things, but even I can't defend this because that's still too much money they're spending here. I mean, literally, not to mention that the way they move around here, especially how you see where they're moving around, makes no sense. Coach to a coach to going up a mountain. Which, wait, you're going up a mountain, then you use a train to go somewhere else, but it's just nothing. But that's that part. But then we continue on to where they go into the back because they have no seating. To the back where they're storage stuff. And just to let you know, there's a warning that says they were supposed to be for mature audiences, but so far there has been no maturity in this point. Alright? There's been no maturity. Now, the rest of the episodes, I don't know, but I'll let Noble do those because I'm only here to inform you how bad this show is and that you need to stay far away from this stuff from the show as possible. Alright? And we continue on to where they get there, and then we meet her friend's the main character's cousin. Also, the main character looks like she is soulless at some point. So, at some points in the show. So, yeah, the images makes, yeah. Her friends, like, everyone is more soulful than her. And, yeah, pink hair confirmed, I guess, but still. But, oh, sorry. I was distracting myself because of how bad the show is. And like I said, I haven't seen it, but just by watching cutscenes, I just, yeah. But yeah, they make it there, and it's apparent that they may. Oh yeah, okay. So basically, they get there. They use magic to open a door. They get to the place of her friend's cousin, and then they open the magic door just to get into the room. But then later on, which is pretty good magic. But then later on, we get to the point where there's a window, and then we find out that it's still in the same place. Then why can't you just go? And I think they use the door, but either way, it still makes no sense here. And like I said, I'm going to be focused on certain things. There are some things that Noble has in this video that I'm not talking about here. So, like I said, advise you to go watch that episode. And it makes no sense. Then we go to the food, which is photoshopped here. And what? Also, there's a dream state in here, just to let you know, which makes no sense at all as well. But back to the food, it looks like Photoshop. It's too sparkly, and then we go to another scene where it's Photoshopped. Also, yeah, there's a pay. Also, yeah, they make it more apparent that basically her cousin and which is this other girl, which is an elf girl, are basically together or basically are together at this point, which is apparent now. Yes, like we didn't figure out before, and then literally they leave. And then this is the moment where possible incest comes in. I don't know. Maybe it's incest here. Maybe it was they actually put that in there. I don't know, but how bad this is, I wouldn't be surprised if they mistakenly put that word in there for dubbing or for the video here. And that would be about how basically her friend says, where the main character says, your cousins are the best. And then I even caught that because I don't usually catch those things. But my gosh, really? Okay. Literally, even she said, but back to the topic is that the cousin says, don't basically edge yourselves out there. And then the main character goes after a squirrel that basically she thinks is rabies. Okay then, dangerous person. person is adrenaline rush. I guess adrenaline junkie. I'm assuming. Whew. I mean, seriously, woo! Seriously. I mean, oh my gosh. And we keep going to the point where literally her necklace gets stolen, even though it was pulling on the necklace, and it doesn't even feel it. What? Doesn't even feel anything. I guess that's why she sold this. But either way, we got to the point where she even uses her sword around, and then she makes an idiotic analogy, which we've all done, which I can defend this because, like I said, I don't want to defend certain parts of this, but considering how we all done idiotic analogies, and she says something that I completely forgot because it's so idiotic that my brain couldn't process that anymore. She says something about birds, a flock of birds or something, but it was an idiotic analogy, but we've all done that, but even still, it's still out of place. And she just proceeds to wield a sword and just start waving around. She has a sword, by the way, and she decides to wield it around everywhere and almost cuts someone. I mean, what? We're in a public place, and I've seen other shows do it better. I mean, and those were mostly blunt objects. And even sometimes they don't wave it around. They just point it, and they happen to be pointing it in front of someone else. Yeah, the main character just waves it around like no one's business, and just basically, wow, yeah. And like I said, I can even give you evidence of basically when I watched Ruby, where Ruby comes in and she actually drops one of those dust things and explodes. But it was in a localized area, and there was barely anyone around. Actually, there was no one around, actually, besides the main characters, who basically appear one blind. Only Weiss and Ruby, they thought it was basically Blake, and then, yeah, that's basically, I had to say that. It was better than that one. This one, she was just waving around here, and, yeah, and then they chase after this little squirrel thingy. I don't know what the heck that was. And she says that she had in her luggage, it was baking her dad's cheesecake. Okay, she has a precious cheesecake in there. Okay, which I could say also thanks for everyone has some sort of heirlooms, and I've seen also other shows where, and I say show because literally this show makes no sense of being called an anime because, like I said, it looks more like a cartoon, especially, yeah, it basically more of a cartoon here. It just lets you know the Dreamscape does involve the mom. Dreamscape does involve the mom, but I seen other shows do that scene a lot more better here. And like I said, there's like other stuff that I'm basically picking from his video, but like I said, he goes into more detail here. I think more detail. He rips into it, let's just say. He rips into it, well, not as in like angrily, but he does give some objective details here. And oh my gosh, and my brain starts hurting every time I think about this because I'm recalling all these painful things here. And yeah, no, they were basically, and they go after us. It's cheesesteak, but we all have heirlooms, but even still, like I said, out of place considering how this show is. It's not dragging me in here. Then they chase out there. There's some giantess feet here, which I'll let you deal with, which you can have that. And then they keep chasing, and then we get to a scene where basically there's some squirrels getting it on here. Yes, it lasts a while just to have a scene with them getting it on. Now, they don't get it on, but they do get it on in a sense. But and then they say break the locket. She doesn't bother going to grab it. They just look at it and then what? Makes no sense. Then and we find out that the cheesecake was actually a full picture instead of locket. Okay, makes sense. And then she basically says that the locket is just broken, but her friend manages to put it back. Well, kinda. And then the main character just leave it. It's just saying it makes no sense to me how this is working. My brain is still trying to process it, which it's taking too much brain power just to process this. And then we go to another scene where they go to the blacksmith, which the blacksmith has no idea what they're doing, has no idea that basically this locket got broken at the thing that closes and opens, but thinks that bus ran over it, and we have kids running around the place, but I've seen other shows that do the exact same thing, so Yeah, but even still, a lot more better than this because these kids are not running around because these kids are running around a lot more often and a lot more dangerously here. And then they introduce this character, and basically, yeah, they introduce the character. This is the character that's one of the companions. If you've seen the opening or seen the I don't know where, but yeah, she's one of the characters, and they just introduce themselves, and that's about it. Basically, that was basically like what Opal says, minutes wasted on a potential new character. And then they do some idiotic thing of, oh, basically good thing happening in a good moment morale thing. Some kid, I don't know, some kid like, oh, we're going to end this on a good note. But, oh my lord, they do it so awfully. It makes no friggin' sense. And that's basically how it ends. Basically took a good moment and then basically say, oh, well, it's a good thing. That's the thing that this thing, I don't know, is such an idiotic thing that it's making my brain hurt. And like I said, this is from Noble's video, and I don't need to watch the show to know that this is bad. It is bad. I mean, my brain is hurting right now. Ow. And yeah, that's basically the show and how idiotic and bad it is. And let's go to the comments, which literally comments were removed from the show. Were removed. So, yeah, yeah, they were all removed. So, who knows what kind of criticism they were saying. But even still, you know how bad it is when the comments were getting removed. Now, and their show goes on, and I'm going to spoil the wording, but of course, this thing doesn't need a spoiler wording. But by the end of this first season, the mom is actually on the side of the bad guys, and it ends in a cliffhanger, which they think they're getting a second season, which no, it does not need a second season. It does not. No. Guardians of Spice. That's, I think, what I don't know. Like I said, let me know down in the comments, please, because I don't even remember because that's how bad it is. Let me know what this show is called. Oh, leave it down in the comments. But I'm hurting my brain now. But like I said, it is such an idiotic show that the only reason you should be even watching this is that if you're bored as heck and you're completely out of options of anime, or actually if you're out of options of any show, yes, I gotta say show because it's that bad that you literally would rather be watching anything else besides this. But at that point, you might as well just watch and at that point, even if you're bored as heck and out of options, you could just pick a random show and just freaking watch that, and it'd be even more entertaining than this. I mean, literally, even the other bad anime do better ways of having a first episode than this, and those are bad. And even some scenes, and you can tell that it's bad on the first episode, but even those are more exciting than this freaking piece of, And I've seen bad anime where the first episode are bad, but I still watched it because they still had some entertainment. I mean, even ReDuver Healer, and yes, I said that had better stuff because it had even more better stuff, and that doesn't make any sense. But even that still had some form of cohesion in this. I mean, literally. Yeah, like I said, do not watch this. Stay far away from this. Heck, even if you're pirating this, you can pirate anything else besides this. This does not need you to pirate it. No, pirate anything else besides this. If you plan to watch it, don't. If you're thinking of watching it, don't. If you're excited for this, for some reason, please don't watch this at all. Nobody watch this. Stay far away from this like the plague, and just leave. Leave this to go and disappear basically in the history books of forgotten things. This needs to be forgotten. This doesn't need to exist. And if this does manage to get a second season, I will literally make a video on that and say that Crunchyroll, what the heck is wrong with you to allow this? And also, Crunchyroll needs to get their money back on on the funding of this, because the budget here, of course, was not there. The first episode was not here. I mean, if they made the first episode animation with the budget, made the show on the first episode, heck, okay, there you go. But budget was there for the first episode. It's still a pain in the butt, but even still, I'll probably still avoid it. But even there, I have nothing. My brain is already fried enough. Any more, and my brain's going to explode. But that's basically about it I have to say about the show. And if you want to see Noble's side, because, like I said, I took some points from the main points of the video, and there's some I left out, because, of course, he goes into detail on each... Oh, he rips into it, but does not angrily, but he does give his objective opinion on it. And yeah, I think you should go watch it, because I'm just telling you how bad this show is. Alright, I think I've done enough of this, and I want to leave before my brain starts rotting even more. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, if you did, and just let you know, he is planning, he says if we get past 20k likes, he'll make videos on the other ones, but I'm just going to be making a video on this one, just to let you know how bad it is. He can't do it himself, and I'm done. I don't want anything to do with this show anymore, because literally my brain is already fried enough, and he can give you great detail on those other shows himself. And yeah, that's about it. My brain is hurting, and I didn't expect this video to get this long. I thought it was gonna be talking about how bad just the show and everything, but yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if somehow you did, press the like button. It helps me out. Makes to get the algorithm kicking. Press the black bell to be notified whenever my videos are up, or just come to my channel throughout the week to see if I upload it. What else? Share the video, because yeah, this is bad. This is bad. This needs to be shared. Also, comment down below of what you think about the show. And what's the name of the show? Because my brain is gone. And what do you think they could have done better, if at all, to make this show better? Because in the first episode, there is nothing that would drag you into the show. At all. No conflict. Like what Noble says, no conflict. No backstory. No nothing. Just squirrels. Which is the most. I mean, literally. That's about it. Alright. And yeah, my brain's already rotted. Yeah, I got nothing. I'm trying to remember what else I'm supposed to say in the outro. Comment, subscribe also to join my dog garden. And yeah, that's about it. If I forgot anything, let me know in the comments, because I'm not about to remember the next episode. And yeah, go to Noah's video to watch his point of view. And for right now, my dark minions dismissed.